Hello, and thank you for joining me. We're going to start with my quest to build a really good Scarlet. I know there's an action figure out there, but I don't like the head sculpt or the hair or anything else about it really, so I'm not going there. This is a lovely head sculpt, but her features are very East Asian and reminds me of some art the Met has. China produced for the American market in China in the age of sail, and how everyone looked Chinese. Okay, I bought this really for two things in the box. So let's go ahead and pop this thing open and take a look. Uh, Gloria is apparently an off brand, although the quality seems on point. So I'm not sure about the company, its history or whatever. But I found this on eBay, as we find many things. And so this is one I'm very interested in. This TV set will take a battery and will illuminate, and apparently we can scroll through some different images. I might try replacing them. These speakers remind me of my Bose speakers. All right, got a little shelf unit. Very nice. Okay, a bunch of the little parts for this thing. We can deal with those later. And then we have this sofa. And I anticipate painting the sofa, creating a leather appearance. And in this bag, we've got some more parts we're going to need. Some stuff I actually care about. Really care about. I'm going to enjoy all of it. Don't get me wrong. And here we are. So you might recognize this chair, or what its apparent source material, the Charles Eames lounge chair. Originally designed for a movie executive who wanted to be able to sleep in his office without having a bed in his office, or so the story goes. I don't own one. My ex-wife does. I gave it to her when she was going to have the boys. My brother has one. My mom has one. They're great chairs. Nope, Harold, that's the wrong part. No, that's part of a lamp, apparently. All right, let's find another one here. I think that's wrong again there, mate. No, figure it out. You're a tech ed teacher. You're supposed to be able to do this stuff. All right, let's try one more here. Here we go. All right, so this is a nice press fit. This is also going to get a paint job. I'll paint the wood to match the rosewood or walnut original. The leather will be black, and the metal parts will be a combination of chrome and black to suit. Also, the original one doesn't recline, but it's very comfortable. So I ordered some of these from someone in Thailand on YouTube. That's their eBay store, and I'll share with you the link on the screen, and I'll put it in the description too, because I think this stuff is gorgeous. I've been to Thailand twice. I love the Thai people. They're super friendly. Thai food is very spicy. I used to be tougher. We'll just leave it at that. But their national costume is absolutely gorgeous. And I was thinking of a photo story I want to tell in Southeast Asia. And I saw these, and I was like, oh, yes, I need to have this. And here we have a Barbie doll that was a concert violinist. Her original dress, quite frankly, disappoints. But look at this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. I suspect I'll buy some more from this seller. Now let's see if we can make her do a wah. Not really. Barbie has gone streets ahead of what it used to be, but the hands still need some work. But that's another project for another day. And here we have another of the costumes on a different figure. I'm curious what figures they can and cannot work with. You're going to need a petite figure with these outfits. And I thought about contacting the seller about, would you be willing to make some that were a bit larger for some of the larger figures. But then again, the Thai people are not known for obesity. So, fair one. Now we've got a whole bunch of weapons. This one was a bundled one because I'm not too excited about it. This one, kind of cool in a very kind of chaotic way. We'll be talking about that. Next up, we have, say what you want about the Woolworth gun. I have a soft spot for Stens, especially that one. If you've seen the movie Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, you know why. I have to have this, of course. And maybe more than once. And now we have your bad guys need to have really cool guns. Let's put it that way. And coming up, we have, again, your bad guys need some stuff. And that subgun in particular is really cool. You know, foreshadowing, an advanced literary technique. Yes, I got more than one. And I'll do it again, given the chance. AT4s, they were very low priced. The shipping was twice the actual purchase price. Is one of those deals. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And again, your bad guys need to have some really cool guns. So let's take a look at these now in detail. This is an unboxing. I'm not going to make you watch me unbox everything because, you know, time is money and all that. Whenever I take these things out, I get a little nervous in the service with, like, barrels getting caught up on stuff or other potentially delicate parts. So gently, gently, slowly, slowly catching monkey. I'm also making a mistake from a technical standpoint. I'm looking at what I'm doing, not the view screen, the camera. So the shot is not as good as we might hope. I do apologize for that. Up your game, Harold. Up your game. All right. When I was a little kid, we used to make wooden guns for our war games and such. I made an MP38 or 40. The stock broke off because they didn't know to, like, you know, mind the cross grain and all that. And then years later, I made one of these. But there you go. So here's the plan. We're going to use those Lewis guns for open cockpit biplanes. And the British weapons, the adventure team are going to have those for sure. Particularly important to my mind is the 2-inch mortar. I do like a 2-inch or 51 millimeter, its replacement. And these go on in, so we could take advantage of that for our photo stories. Like I said, I have to have. I do like the British sniper rifle, and I might update one of those to a 7.62 NATO, and of course the jungle carbine. The Spastics are going to use these things. They're a group of villains who are very chaotic, shall we say. And Cobra will have all of this. The MG34s are going to be for Cobra kill cars. That's a project I hope to start very soon and share with you. And again, I forget how to pronounce it. But yeah, the 42 and the 44 are really cool. And the 38 is a really cool gun. Your bad guys need cool stuff. You know what? Maybe the shotgun, which is the coolest of all of them to my mind, it belongs down here. Right? I see myself making a Man from U.N.C.L.E. out of that P38. I shot a Luger once, and I wanted to put on the toggle empty. So when you shot it to slide lock, you'd know, as it were. Molotov cocktail could be really interesting in a photo story, and the Desert Eagle is the ultimate drug dealer pimp gun. All right, let's sweep this away. Okay, I ordered some, one of these lots of used weapons, and we'll unbag them because the bag came in a box. And so we've got some really odds and ends. It's all over the place, frankly. Who made them, what they are, their condition, what have you. But I'm very pleased. So make no mistake, there's no disappointment here for me. I think there's some interesting opportunities and challenges with this stuff. So we'll get it out on the table. And then we'll take a look at each of these individually. And again, I should put some like tape on the table or something so I know where the left and right limits are. Okay, so what have we got? Well, Ma Deuce, always good to have. Need to replace one of the spade grips. Might add some other upgrades, but that's very promising. I could turn a scope for that Car 98. Some early American machine gun part or such, I don't know. These H&K subguns, they're kind of all over the place in quality and condition. Some might be turned into like ray guns a la Star Wars. I'm not sure. This 42 just needs a mag, so I will make a magazine for it. That's a quick upgrade. The Steyr AUG just needs a barrel. Again, that's a pretty straightforward job, I think. All right. these ARs, they've seen better days. You need a buffer. So I don't know if I'm going to like add a stock to them and put them in a rack or whatever. This mortar part, no problems, because turning the tube and the base plate on my lathe will be very easy and fun. This M60 is a bit wonky, so again, it might get converted into something else, like some kind of space gun or such. And this M16 is chromed all over, and the barrel's a little wonky. It might get painted and put in a gun rack somewhere or something. I haven't decided. Okay, Sideshow Collectibles. A lot of times they're crazy, crazy money, and I won't touch it. But this one was very reasonable in price point. So I'm like, you know what? I'll pull the trigger on it. The boxes are quite nice, and I don't keep the boxes. So there you go. Let's get this thing out and onto the table. As you can see, it's already been taken out of the box once, which bothers me not a lick. In fact, sometimes when I'm buying stuff, I'll go for the thing that's already been unboxed because I don't have to worry about, oh, the collector's value. Oh, it's going to recycling. This looks interesting. We can swap out the hands. I've not actually seen Die Another Day as a full movie. I've seen it in pieces, as it were. And I'm okay with that. I think it has its moments. But a lot of the movie is like, dear God. I want to say that, is that a Stetson? Usually I can recognize the various guns, but I'm a little confused. I'm going to look that up. It'll fit quite nicely here. All right, let's try it in the other hand. Yeah, no. Let's try again. Nope, that's not a thing. Okay. That's some really nice detail in the face sculpt. I'm not going to use him as his original character. In fact, I don't even know how I'm going to use him, just as I will. Okay, confession time. I have never seen UFO. In fact, I didn't see any of the Gary Anderson shows other than Space 1999 back in the day. But I was aware of some of the UFO stuff, particularly like the Interceptor and some of the other stuff because of the Dinky toys. And my mate, not Aaron, that's his older brother, Jonah, who now lives in Massachusetts, he had some of them, and they were super cool. And then as an adult, I learned, oh yeah, there's this guy, Gary Anderson, and he made a lot of really cool stuff with puppets and some other things, and this is part of that, and I think it's awesome. So these figures usually go for crazy money, but if you're patient and you wait, there's a chance to get one at a reasonable price point, as I did here. And it is a really cool figure, I think. Let's take a look at the head sculpt. You know, I might prefer flocked hair, not flocked hair, sorry, but like hair instead of molded, but that's okay. Nice uniform. It looks like she's almost sewed into it. And, you know, are you going to be able to go where I want to go with this? No, nothing creepy. I would just like to have the miniskirt version as well. But it is really nicely put together, I must say. So examining this, yes, there's Velcro here, so we can take the costume off. My action plan is to pull the trigger on another reasonably priced one, and then have one figure in the full uniform and one in the miniskirt uniform. I used to work at a museum that had a planetarium. Oh, I blew the opportunity to create space background, so we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, last one is an unboxing of a box. Many of us had the old Foot Locker, and this one needs a little repair, and you can see it's been changed around a bit, but that's fine. I am a woodworker, and I'm thinking about making a video on like how to fix up your Foot Lockers. We've got some cool odds and ends here, including stickers. These are quite welcome for uniforms and the like. A sword, kind of cool. Some piratical figure will probably get that. We're going to look at those rifles in a bit. Nice stethoscope. You know, the trays from the mobile support vehicle are cool. Yeah, a figure stand, I think. Yeah, I'll set that aside. A whole bunch of these, which I don't mind. I've got plans to try and put LED lights in the lamps and see if that works. Odds ends with stickers and other elements. I think you can recognize some of them. Some of them, to be honest, I didn't necessarily recognize, but we'll have some fun with that. Unfortunately, the radio, if you will, solar power that was supposed to come with this. The guy didn't have it. He rebated the money. It's all good. But I would have liked to have had that. Oh well. First world problems. In here, we've got some like tent poles. I'll come back to that another time. I'm a little nervous in the service about breaking these things. I've actually taken coursework in plastics, so I know something about plastics. They're breakable. All right, but here's kind of where I'm going, where it might get really interesting with these M1 Grand and carbines. All right, so we'll get them out, and we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to set that one aside, as you'll see, because it's intact and actually a different company, I do believe. And that one's also intact, so we're going to set that aside. But taking a look at this, my plan is, and I've had this for a while, these M1 Grands always break right there, where the barrel extends out of the stock. And so if you were to cut away this portion, thereabouts, and then mold or fabricate M14 parts, we could convert all these to M14s. So that's where I'm going with this. And if I'm successful, I will definitely share that with you. And the same idea with the carbine, although it may prove to be actually easier, because basically we just need to fabricate a barrel. Drill a deep hole for the barrel so it's not going to just pop out. All right, well, thank you very much for joining us. Take care.